Welcome back, everyone. It's your first time tuning in. I'm Chris, and this is Pia's Projects. We're going back on the Beetle. For those that don't know, this is my 1964 Beetle that I won from Ludwig's Garage. It is on a 6-inch narrowed beam by Everesto, and then drop plates in the rear. And it's a 1600 dual port motor with some sweet patina, man. So here's the front of it. Things I've already done. So I've done disc brake conversion up front. I put in a new fuel tank, and I've reupholstered the interior. Okay, the rear bench is currently out because I'm working on the battery, or had the battery disconnected and stuff, so. I briefly covered it last week, but what we're working on right now is getting the motor running again. All right, so back in December, I went from a generator to an alternator. I blew up the generator. I don't know if it was original to the setup or not, but it definitely had a lot of time on it. So we made the upgrade. Did that at the same, then the following week I started working on a distributor upgrade, and I screwed up. Okay, so this is not the distributor I installed. This is just another distributor I picked up, but I didn't have it pushed in all the way, and when I went to crank it, there's a worm gear in here. It spun, and basically it jacked up the timing on everything. It took me a little bit to figure that out. So what we're gonna do, pull the carb off, pull the fuel pump off, pull the distributor out. We have to take the belt off. We'll refine top dead center, take the crank pulley off, reset it, and then actually we'll probably pull the worm gear out, set the top dead center, pull the crank pulley back on so it reads top dead center at the split like it's supposed to, and then reinstall the worm gear, distributor, fuel pump, and basically everything again. So that's the goal, that's the plan for this week. All right, so we're going to take the carburetor off, pull the fuel pump, remove the alternator belt, and take the distributor out. And then I have a tool to pull the worm gear out. And we will set top dead center and pull the crank pulley off, get it all lined up, and then put it back on. All right, to pull the distributor This is the tool. It's like 16, 18 bucks. I'll put a link down below, but I tried to use this earlier and I don't think I cranked it down hard enough, is basically what I was told. So the wrench will hold this down and then crank, 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 maybe crank some more, because you're trying to expand these teeth so it grabs the worm gear and then you can back it out. So here goes nothing or everything, because I need to do this before pretty much we can do anything else to fix the motor. All right, well, this thing like slides up and down. I wonder if there's a way I can like pry it up. Let me try that. I almost think, actually, I think it's probably just easiest to pull the motor, right? It's what, 4 bolts? Alright, you have to do it on both sides. That's the top engine mount. I think I just glazed over it, but all the, we disconnected all the power. So remember, this is power, power and ground. Before you do all that, make sure your battery's disconnected. Connects to your coil pack. This is the oil light. This tin, which I've already had removed, take it out, and that's pretty much it. Remember, I've already stripped a lot of this motor down. So there's another bolt back here. We're gonna have to loosen. We'll take care of that here in a minute. I don't know if y'all knew, but I knew. Definitely haven't moved the Beetle in a while because there's cobwebs everywhere. If you have the heater passage, tubes and everything, you had to connect it here, and then there's like some clamp like in this area that you have to disconnect. Yeah, we don't have those. So slide under. Obviously, before you do that, make sure you have jack stands supporting your vehicle. I've already pulled, but I pulled the throttle cable and I pulled the fuel line out. Okay, the fuel went through here, throttle cable's up here on the other side of the clutch. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is these bolts right here that I've highlighted right here. And then the other one is right there. Luckily enough, John took this motor out a year or so ago, so that's fine. Probably a little longer than that, but still. Yeah, because it was out before then, yeah. And alright, so I'm using this motorcycle floor jack, motorcycle, ATV, what have you. And you want to sort of have it pressured in the front half. Okay, put a little pressure on it just so you can pull it out. And then I'm gonna set up and I guess just grab from here. Alright, motor is out. I need to raise the car up quite a bit. Because we're about even with that. So I'm gonna get my big jack stands, just raise it up, put it under there. And yeah. All right, that right there is the worm gear. I mean, it still moves. I just don't know how misaligned things are now, or how wrecked things are. So, just made a call to a guy. About 2.5 hours away from me. I don't know much about these motors, okay? I know they've been around for a very long time. It's my first air cooled, guys. So, if someone has any info, please drop down in the comments, give me some info, something I could try in the next couple days. Otherwise, later this week, I'm gonna bring the motor to this guy named Joe. Joe, help me out here, man. And I hope it's just something simple, but I don't know. We'll see. Now with that out, we have wheels off, okay? I think now's about the time for me to show you, I got a couple options for wheels. Don't get me wrong, I like these wheels. And I sort of don't, okay? I'm not the biggest fan of black wheels. And so, I'll show you why I love these wheels. All right, first off, oh, look at that. You can see the caliper. What I don't like is because of, so I have to use an adapter. I need to paint these. Because the number of times I get asked, is this a 10 lug bolt or 10 lug wheel? No, unfortunately it's not. It's just an adapter. So, yeah. But, that's why I like it. I have some scrapes, and that's because I was careless with the wheel. So, I can fix this. I could repaint this, okay, and I could paint these, or find a way to make them black, right? Even maybe caps, some black caps. Who knows, okay? I do like that you can see this, all right, but I don't know. So I have another wheel. I have a wheel that I would like to try. The tires I have on it would not work at all. But, well, they wouldn't work on the front. They would work on the rear. Porsche phone dials. All right, these are the 15x6 version. And so I would go to like I guess a 165 if I can. I don't know. I have to look at the tire sizes I can get. But for the rear, it was a 215. 215 still might be too much for it. But, I mean, obviously it would be tucked in a lot. But, I don't know. Let me know. What do you guys think? The other plan is, which was my original plan out the gate, until I find, you know, like another set of, I don't know, some 3-piece Porsche wheels or some Southern Ways. I mean, come on. I found some. I don't know, I think the guy's a little strong on his, and they're set up wrong. They're too wide. And the wheels would have to be rebuilt, and we don't have time for that right now. What I do have, okay, let me go ahead and mock these up. All right, so this is a 15x7. I think regularly they're 15x4. 15x5. So I don't know if I'm putting a 205 60-15 or like a 215 55-15, something like that. All you Beetle guys, let me know. Let me know wheel options. Up front, I need one more tire because the other one is flat. I may go ahead and, I don't know. They're the right style. I don't know, maybe I want newer life on them. Heck, I could pull that 215-60, put them on here. I currently put a 1-inch spacer. I don't think it needs that. But I also think flush might not work. If I get time, well, if I get them, if they are in stock and I get time, I will order rear disc brakes. Currently we don't have rear brakes, okay? It's just the front. I've plugged the master for the rear. I have new lines in that box, so we can fix that. But for now, don't have rear brakes. So big reason I want to go to disc brakes so I can have Porsche 5x130 bolt pattern. So when I find other wheels or whatnot, or if eventually one day I want to put those on there, or the wheels that are on the Joker, throw them on here. And it's a great look, okay? The smoothies. But I think I'm gonna redo the wheels. The whole thing, everything is tan or cream, the soft color, because then it'll match this. It'll match this. The knobs inside, the frame to the seats, you know, some of that touch-up stuff. Thought about stripping this down and repainting that too. That won't happen immediately, but I think eventually that's what will happen. But just everything, center portion, and the lip. Because right now how these were, they're black in the center with the cream. So it looks sort of like a white wall. I don't know. We'll put a couple options up. Take some pictures, you know. Let me know what you guys think. And then we'll decide in the coming weeks. Actually, next week, we'll probably figure out which wheels, because that's probably what we're working on. That and a little bit of prep on the Joker, okay? All right, well, if you've made it this far, thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. So we got the motor pulled out. Hopefully in the next week or so, we get dropped off for repair and can get it back fairly quick. We are in a time crunch, which sucks. But hey, it's the way it is, right? So I do plan, so it's the way it is sometimes. But we're about 5 weeks out from AVF. So I would like, the current plan is Beetle and the Joker, because I want some photos of them in Helen. That's just, yeah. I appreciate everyone who's ordered merch. There's still merch on the site. If you see me at shows, I will have shirts with me. All right? So don't be afraid to ask. In person, I'll take cash, Venmo, PayPal. You know, we'll figure out something. Also, I haven't really plugged it, but I have set up a Patreon. Okay, $7 a month helps support this crazy stuff that I do. I got some ambitious things I'd like to try, but I need to sort of get a steady flow of stuff coming in instead of stuff always going out, right? So let me know what wheels you like. Maybe I'll let you all decide. Most comments to this video about which wheel setup, that's what we'll do. Okay. So yeah. Appreciate everyone watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget, there's always a solution.